Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the corporate world. Today we're diving into a filing from SHF Holdings, and let me tell you, this one's a bit like a roller coaster. Get ready for some executive musical chairs and a reverse stock split. It's all in their latest report. This filing is actually an amendment to their original report for last year, 2024. Think of it as a do-over where they're adding some missing information about who's in charge and updating the list of exhibits. This happens sometimes, but it's worth paying attention to why. They initially skipped including certain details, expecting to file a separate statement later, but that didn't happen, so here we are going back to correct it. So who are these people steering the ship? Terence Mendez is now the Chief Executive Officer as of earlier this year. Before that, he was doing consulting and had leadership roles in other cannabis-related businesses. Then we have James Dennedy, the Chief Financial Officer since late 2022. He's been around the block with experience at Urban Grow and Agilicis. Donnie Emmy is the Chief Legal Officer. He was in private legal practice for a long time. Sundi Seafried used to be the Chief Executive Officer, but now she's on the Board of Directors. There's a whole list of directors, including Douglas Fagan, who's also the president and CEO of Partner Colorado Credit Union. It's interesting how many of their board members have connections to Partner Colorado Credit Union. It might imply heavy reliance on them. We also have independent directors like Jonathan Summers, Carl Racine, Jonathan Niehaus, and Richard Carlton. Each of them brings different experiences to the table from finance, law, and capital markets. The audit committee, which is super important for making sure the company is doing things fairly and correctly, is made up of Jonathan Summers, Jonathan Niehaus, and Richard Carlton. Summers is considered the financial expert here, so it looks like they've checked all the boxes and followed the rules about having independent people overseeing the company's finances. The company has two types of publicly traded instruments: Class A common stock trading under the ticker symbol SHFS and redeemable warrants trading under SHFSW. These are traded on the Nasdaq Stock Market LLC. Now, for a key number, the market value of the company's stock held by non-affiliates, or the public float, was about $29.71 million as of June of last year. This gives you a sense of the company's size and how much of it is available for regular investors to buy and sell. As of March of this year, there were close to 2.8 million shares of Class A common stock outstanding. This number is important because it tells you how many pieces the company is divided into. Here's where it gets interesting. In March of this year, the company did a reverse stock split. What does that mean? It means they took every 20 shares and turned them into one share. Companies do this to increase their stock price, hoping it will attract more investors or meet exchange requirements. Keep this in mind, all the share and per share numbers in this report are adjusted to reflect that split. Time to talk money. Sundi Seafried, the former CEO, made about $306,000 in 2024. That included salary, bonus, and stock awards. Donnie Emmy and James Dennedy both made around $399,000 respectively. Mr. Mendes received around $73,000, but he only came in near the end of the year. It's pretty clear how the company compensated its executives. Now, diving into the table on page 40, let's break it down. Sundi Seafried had 27,500 exercisable options with a striking price of 100 exercisable options with a striking price of $33 in stocks. That haven't vested yet, worth $3,000. Donnie Emmy held about 17,000 options with the same strike price and almost 2,000 unvested shares worth over $7,000, strike price of almost $dollars, $12,000, strike price of $51.02. Is Density had same numbers with the difference that his options have a strike price of $51.02. Donnie Emmy held about 17,000 options with the same strike price and almost 2,000 unvested shares, worth over $7,000, strike price of $51.65, worth over $7,000, strike price of $51.60. Directors were paid mostly in cash, from about $58,000 to $110,000 for Jonathan Niehaus. The chair of the audit committee received an additional annual retainer of $20,000. The board chair earned an extra $60,000. Now let's talk about who owns the company. Douglas Fagan, through his relationship with Partner Colorado Credit Union, may be seen as owning about 39% of the company's stock. Jennifer Myers, also through her role at Partner Colorado Credit Union, may be seen as owning around 39%. Partner Colorado Credit Union itself holds a large chunk of the stock. M3 Funds LLC owns almost 10%. There's a key agreement with Partner Colorado Credit Union, the Commercial Alliance Agreement. This covers how they work together on loans and accounts related to cannabis businesses. It lays out who's responsible for what, especially when loans go bad. The company paid a fee to Partner Colorado Credit Union for managing the loans and would indemnify them if things go south. In 2024, the fees were around $26, $29 per account. The audit fees paid to Markham LLT, the accounting firm, were about $403,000 last year. That's up from around $305,000 the year before. These are fees for checking the company's financial statements and making sure everything looks good. So what's the story here? On one hand, you have a company navigating the tricky waters of the cannabis industry with close ties to a credit union that seems to be a major player in their operations. On the other hand, there's a lot of change happening at the top and some financial maneuvers that could raise eyebrows. Now, what do I think about all this? SHF Holdings seems to be undergoing a bit of an identity crisis. The constant changes in leadership and the reverse stock split suggest they're trying to find their footing. Their reliance on Partner Colorado Credit Union could be a strength, but it also creates a risk if that relationship changes. One of the biggest opportunities is also one of the risks, that being the cannabis market. Overall, SHF Holdings is a company to watch, but with a healthy dose of caution. The path forward is not yet clear, and it will take strong leadership and smart strategies to succeed in this competitive industry. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives.